Hello and welcome to another video of Polaris Sector, a new 4X strategy game. Today we are going to build a new frigate for the human fleet. Note that every faction in the game has access to different ships and weapons. Also, making customized designs is completely optional, so you can also use preset designs if you prefer focusing on grand strategy rather than micromanaging your fleets. Alright, let's design a new general purpose frigate that we are going to call the O'Day class attack frigate. The first thing we did was to select the hull adapted to our needs. Now we can place weapons, engines, and other devices into the ship. The yellow grid contains the space where we can place weapons of turrets of different sizes. Other elements can be placed on slots of different colors. Let's start by dropping in some engines. Engines can be placed on the purple grid and provide thrust in combat, and in this case also hyperspace capabilities. Most of the vessels in this game have several decks that can host slots for different types of modules. Now you can see we have a negative power balance, and we need to have a positive one in order to be able to build it. So let's add some reactors. 3 of these should be plenty for now, as we will add some other modules that require power as well a little later on. Next, let's add some fuel cells. Having reserve fuel will allow for interstellar travel in order to take the fight to the enemy. Having more fuel is usually better. A range of 11,000 should be plenty to make most jumps and be able to return to my own fuel stations here. Next, let's add my favorite, weapons. This can be done by placing turret mounts on the grid with different weapon types on them. Let's start with an IR laser, which has great range and accuracy. Now, by hitting the weapon ranges button, we can see the firing arcs of all the weapons. Now let's add some plasma guns. These have lower range and accuracy than the IR lasers, but have much greater damage potential. I'm also going to add some anti-meson guns, which are very useful against ships that are protected by shield technology. Finally, I will add some UV lasers, which are great for targeting fighters at close range and for intercepting missiles and torpedoes. Some paired lasers, which are also great against fighters, and some heavy lasers, which are decent all-purpose weapons. Here we can see all the ranges of the different weapons. Notice the long range of the IR laser. Now on the lower deck, we still have some weapon slots available. Let's use it to add some torpedo batteries. Missiles and torpedoes are great for dealing a huge amount of damage to slower capital ships. While the turrets at the top of the hull have a full 360-degree firing arc, the turrets below can only engage in broadside combat. So as you can see, we're currently only carrying 16 missiles, which is not enough for extended combat. Best to increase that number. Now, the munition supply system is a large missile storage, which can contain up to 50 missiles or torpedoes. 3 of these should be plenty. Next, we need a ballistic computer, which will help calculate the trajectories of incoming missiles, making your lasers more effective at intercepting them. Let's also add an infrared scanner that will allow us to detect the presence of enemy fighters from further away. Now, we will have some power left to distribute, so we should increase the ship's defenses by adding an additional energy shield. Now finally, we should use some of that remaining space to add some small turrets for a bit of extra firepower. A couple of heavy ion cannons and heavy lasers should be able to do the trick. And so there you have it. A good general ship type that, supported by several specialist classes, will do great in combat. The more complex your design is, the more resources and time will be necessary to effectively build your particular kind of ship. So depending on the situations and your playstyle, you may want to have only a few ships with top-notch equipment or a huge fleet of simple fighters. Your choice, Commander. But remember, that dream ship can always be yours.